I'm Chris.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Afro Hammer.
And podcast assemble! So, welcome to the new season of the podcast. And
new seasons now?
I guess. Okay. That's what I'm going to call it.
This is more of a reboot, if anything.
Another reboot, again, like 3 months later, but seasons.
So we're like Spider-Man movies.
Anyway, who went to ACen?
What's ACen? I kid.
What? Do you really have to ask a redundant question because we were all there?
Well, we were all there, yes, but I was just...
I do remember like a booth of ours there, and I think I was behind there for a few hours. And I know you were there.
Yeah,
I was there.
And I seen you there too. There's like
there's pictures on this Facebook, I think.
Yeah. I got I was there for like 3 days, and I was only in like one picture, and that was the one that you took a selfie of us. It was like me.
I'm terrible.
With your amazing tablet.
Yeah, I know.
I'm jealous of it. His tablet's amazing. It's
you got that. What Samsung tablet do you have?
It's the Galaxy 2.7 tab, and it was honestly the reason why I picked it up is because I walk into Best Buy, look at all the tablet selections, look at everything out of my price range, and this one's for $180. I'm like.
Alright.
I'm like, hey, price range.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I did.
It's
over
actually
the
cheaper than my phone was.
Oh, wow.
Over in the dealer room at ACen, it's like, I don't know, I was in the dealer portion for like 3 hours quickly looking at stuff. That's how big it was.
Yeah.
But
You can spend all day there.
Utopia or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
They had, it was like this really small, like one table type area, really tiny. And I did not find it again without help. But I sat on the floor the second I saw Import Super NES and Saturn games. And I was just going through them all going, I spent a couple $100 there.
Yeah.
No, I really like at ACen, it was a quote by you actually, where you just started taking pictures, and then you started stopping people and asking them if you could take pictures. And then finally he was just like, yeah, because I'm the guy who takes all the pictures suddenly.
Well, usually was it Paul is the guy who just
walks around taking pictures.
He takes albums worth of photos.
Right, and then never posts.
And by the end of Friday, I realized, well, no one's taking pictures of anything, and I was tasked by my roommate to take pictures of Homestuck cosplayers to bring back.
Oh, is that why? Okay.
Yeah, no, that's what it was originally, and then I'm like, well, if no one else is going to, I'll bite the bullet.
Might as well.
Well, I took a picture of Inspector Spacetime. Community watch at season 5 was renewed. And
6 seasons and a movie.
I took a picture of Laura Croft, or at least one of them.
Well, yeah.
There's a couple really
nice ones. Yeah.
There was my favorite cosplays at ACen was honestly the steampunk Iron Man that stopped by our booth.
Yeah, I saw that.
Just
awesome.
leather and metal, and it was all like handmade. And I'm assuming he either worked it professionally or had somebody professionally work on it, but whatever else, it was just an amazing look. And then he had the LED little chest piece. I'm like,
I swear his name had to been like he had to be a Stark or something.
Yeah,
in real life.
I saw that in passing, and I stopped and stared for like 5 minutes.
Actually, I saw someone else's Facebook pictures or whatever else upload. They got a picture of a Iron Man, like a replica Iron Man from the movies, and then a guy dressed
like Tony Stark.
That's my picture.
Yeah. Like the Iron Man, I was like, well, if you're gonna go full out, I see a few mistakes for you, but it still looks really good. But then the Tony Stark was like, holy crap, that's Tony Stark. That's Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
Inspector Spacetime was my favorite.
There was like a trio of elderly people, and the one with the walker they were all like Mario.
Ones?
Yeah, it was Mario, Luigi, and Peach, and Mario had a walker, and he had like.
I'm pretty sure they've been doing that for a couple of years
now.
I've
but
seen them
my first ACen, so. Yeah. But like the guy with the walker had a Mario Kart, and I thought that was so creative.
No, the creativity is just so awesome
amazing.
With the cosplays, and I just love watching, and like people watching is a pastime of mine already, and it's just awesome to see. This is the creativity and whatever else that they've put into everything. So.
It's that when it comes to elementary schools, right?
I don't hang around elementary school.
Oh, don't worry, officer. He's just people watching.
Oh no, he's just watching. No.
Alright, but another other thing with ACen, I just love the vastness and the stuff you can do. Like,
Right.
ACen was my first convention ever. Like, when I was first introduced into the scene, I was dating somebody and they're like, yeah, let's go to this convention. I'm like, alright, whatever else. And then I'm just amazed at 20,000 plus people in like a 4-block radius for the entirety of the weekend. It is just phenomenal.
What was their numbers? Did anybody forget?
I don't know. I heard somewhere between 25,000 to 30,000 from. I don't have the exact numbers.
That sounds about right for what I saw.
Well, you should have seen after the Calafina concert at the Rosemont Theater. It's like
I really
it was
wanted to
a
go to
huge mass, like boom, crossing the street.
Well, it's just like last year when they had to evacuate the Hyatt for the fire.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, 5,000 people just in the street.
This was my first ACen, and compared to the little cons that, I don't want to say little, but compared to ACen, we're little.
Well, no. It's one of those things like I feel spoiled being.
Yeah.
ACen's my first one, and then going around and seeing all the other ones. Completely separate feel, but it's still unique and awesome in its own way.
I mean, it took me like until like midday Saturday to actually figure out where things were. I lost the video game room like twice after being there. And then 5 minutes later, and then. No, I kept going to the Hyatt.
It's like the first floor.
No, years past it has been in the Hyatt. Like last year, the rhythm room was in the Hyatt, and the rest of it was in the Hilton. And then before
they had everything in one room.
Before that, they had both video game rooms in the basement of the Hyatt.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, now they're using it as 2 panel rooms, which probably change next year.
Yeah, but the one panel I wanted to go to got moved to the Hilton. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I really don't have a reason to be in the Hyatt except to be like, Sunday there's just 2 doctors sitting on that upper level, and they were just watching people fawn over this like replica TARDIS.
Oh yeah. I fawned a little bit. Yeah, I did.
I actually got it. I was 2 seconds away because this Marceline cosplayer and 2 other people went into the TARDIS, closed the doors for a couple seconds, and Marceline tries to walk out and trips on her own wig coming out.
Yeah.
Like a second too late to see her, to get the picture of her falling. I'm like,
no,
no!
so close.
I got her like going into the TARDIS and then on the ground in front of the TARDIS. Like,
Yeah, no, I was looking at that. I'm like, how did they get permission to set that up? Because it was like because you enter that hotel through the big rotating doors that I hear so many stories about. They didn't break this year, as far as I know.
Friday they did shut down for that 1 second when we were walking.
Yeah, when we were walking through, my first station, I'm like, I'm already breaking doors.
Good job, man.
I'm a part of the club now.
I can't take you anywhere now.
It's like, and then there was the escalators, and then that's where the TARDIS was.
Well,
up the
yeah.
escalators.
But if you put the TARDIS in the elevator, it's kind of like Boxception, but you can get it up there if there's actually no one on the elevator.
Yeah, I doubt that. Though.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, they could have just skywalked it over.
Maybe you should have seen it last year at ACen, where our con director was, helping out with IoT, and his duty was to be on the elevator just to make sure everything's going well.
Right.
And so, then we watch him on the first floor, and then we ran upstairs to the top, and then we met him on the top and waved at him, and then we headed all the way back down, and then we waited for him on the elevator on the first floor going, hey! He for 3 seconds he just had this dazed look, going, kill me. Kill me. And then I figured, hey, I know you guys.
No. Big props to IRT. They did an amazing job.
Yeah, they always do.
Yeah, they always do, but just thank you guys for coming out and doing all this.
Well, yeah.
And we're not just sucking up to you guys.
No, you guys are actually awesome if you're actually watching.
Well, and even the volunteers, because it's such a big con, IRT just moves around from convention to convention, but they get so many volunteers because it's such a massive project. And all those volunteers, even first year runs, did very well, and everyone seemed very professional about it.
Yeah, I could not imagine without IRT.
Oh.
Yeah.
They basically run
it
the
would just be like,
convention.
nope.
Yeah.
It's just thousands of otakus show up and just destroy 3 hotels.
3
conventions.
and a convention center. Yeah. There's a fuzzy.
Too much?
Yes. It was in my face. Okay, so
No, and
I got it. Okay.
And I was actually glad. Like this year, I didn't see any fire drills. Because 2 years ago,
No.
it was the hotel we were staying in that caught fire, and then
Yeah.
last year the Hyatt had the fire alarm, and now this year it's just like, all right,
We were
nobody-
so
No
worried
fires,
last year,
apparently.
but I'm not gonna say why. But my favorite fire drill though was had ACen. The first year I saw Nabishin,
Okay.
and it was their opening ceremonies. And I gotta admit, I'm not a big opening ceremonies fan. You probably have noticed if you know me pretty well. I tend not to show up for that or the closing ceremonies, but.
Closing ceremonies is fun.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
opening ceremonies, they're introducing everyone on their big stage and all that. And they get to Nabishin, and he's nowhere. He's not there at all. And they're like going, where's Nabishin? Is Nabishin back there? And nobody knows anything about where he is. And then through this boring opening ceremonies, but like 5 minutes later, all of a sudden the fire alarms go off. And everyone has to filter out and everything.
Right.
And the theory was that Nabishin pulled the fire alarm to free us from that opening ceremony. I'm not sure how true it was, but
I do have to say, I wish him a recovery. I hear he's
Yeah.
actually doing conventions now.
Yeah,
Like,
and
he's
Boston.
back. Yeah, he's
What
back.
was it? Like cancer or something?
No,
No,
it was
heart attack.
Was it a heart attack? Okay,
Yeah.
I heard like lung cancer.
No, it was heart something that I had heard it heart
Yeah,
attack.
I'm so glad that he's.
it would have killed a normal person. But with his afro, he has afro powers.
Yeah,
and
it is, and he's also
alive,
Nabishin. I mean,
so, afros, remember that. They save your lives.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I may be biased though, you know.
I got nothing like this is
Yeah,
as long as I want to grow because otherwise I look like a shaggy hobo.
yeah, no. When I go shaggy, I end up looking like Scott Pilgrim. So.
No. Scott Pilgrim is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he kind of like treated Kim bad, and he treated Knives bad, and he treated
I do gotta
Ramona
say-
bad, but somehow Scott is awesome somehow. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do gotta say, the actress that played Kim, so cute. Just putting that out there, really cute.
yeah,
And
She
they
did
have.
Why do you
that
think
role
they?
really well.
Why do you think they?
Yeah.
killed it? It's like. Man.
have you read the manga for it?
I have.
I prefer the books to the movie.
Yeah,
personally.
definitely.
Yeah,
I know.
I have started the manga. So,
I know that the movie was finished before the books were, and that's why the endings are different. Like I think
Yes.
the last
Yeah.
two books hadn't come out yet when
Yep.
by the time the movie was made. I do like both endings, and whatever else, I do think it's a movie, so they had to cut a lot of material
Right.
out, like the entire part where Scott was living with Ramona for like a couple months.
Yeah.
That was unfortunate, but I do like the books better. And it's one of the few cases where I actually have an opinion on this matter, because otherwise I never read the books.
See, I prefer the Knives ending more for the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it seemed more natural with his
Well-
relationship with Knives compared to Ramona. But the books,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Well,
love
they-
how the book
they,
ended
um,
for what it is.
There's if you buy the DVD, there's two endings. There's a Knives and a Ramona ending.
What
So
if you buy the Blu-ray, like I did?
Blythe.
And bring it to every room party we do.
Yeah, room parties. It'll be there.
Oh yeah, no, come on.
Wasabi.
WasabiCon is next.
WasabiCon is our
Are
next.
we doing one there?
Yes, we are.
I
Okay,
don't
yeah.
imagine why
Because
not.
I know we're doing the Boffa room and the video game room and.
Boffa room isn't 100% confirmed, but we're probably doing it.
Alright.
And
Well, video game room for sure.
Yeah,
yeah,
for
if,
sure, video
if we don't have any plans for doing a room party at WasabiCon now, we do now.
Yeah.
It's set in
It's
stone now.
official.
Otherwise, GeekCon would be our next one.
Yeah.
Yes, in August. That's my birthday weekend, and I'm turning 21. And I'm
Good
one
luck
to
with that.
yeah, I'm one not to like
Their
drink at cons.
their hotel has like a more reasonably priced bar.
Right.
And then
And
higher
but I'll
price.
probably just go across
Yeah.
the street to Sprecher's and have an alcohol or
Well,
two.
whatever.
Whatever.
Wear an afro when you go to Sprecher's. They just look at you like you're nuts. But
Well,
one of the waitresses did ask me, "Is that my real hair?" And I go, "Yes, it is."
yes, it is.
Well, what else am I gonna say?
Totally real.
Yeah,
I mean, look
it's
at
real,
it.
yeah.
So going back to comparing books to movies, Iron Man 3.
I like the book better for Iron Man 3.
I love the
There
comic
are
book of
books.
It's a comic book.
Well, oh wait, I thought
That was
I,
like the world's worst
I created
segue.
Okay, I'm not that good at segues.
see, I
Sue
created
me.
my own Iron Man 3 book.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, you know,
We're trying to
Iron
start
Man
close
isn't
on
as
that,
cool as
bro.
Captain America. Yeah, it was awesome. You guys should read it. It's on Amazon. Check
No,
it out.
I'm a huge comic book nerd. I'm more of a fan of DC than Marvel.
I think you find kindred spirits there.
Yeah, DC all the way. It's should we give like a spoiler warning? So
yeah.
if you don't want to hear any spoilers, fast forward to 9 minutes and 23 seconds.
Best moment of my life.
I just got that. Okay. Anyway, there might be spoilers. Just to let you know.
Iron Man 3 came out May 3rd.
Yeah, we should be good with a few spoilers.
I've been really bad with keeping up with movies. Like, I still have yet to see Spider-Man, and I recently just saw the first Star Trek. So I've been really bad in keeping up with the movies. But there's a lot of hype. I don't know any of the background of any of the characters that are going against him. So I just want to watch it because it's a
basically, if you
blockbuster.
saw the Avengers,
yeah,
you're good with Iron Man. Then.
Yeah,
it's
Alright.
it's the same character,
Yeah.
but
I understand that.
yeah, right.
It is the same character.
Yes.
I thought it was like
It's
I thought it was a
Sherlock
clone
Holmes
of Robert
coming
Downey Jr.
Okay, so
I like to watch weird science, and I go, ooh, Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man. Yes. Weird science. Check it out. He's in there.
yeah, he is actually. He's a bully.
Okay.
So they went with the Marauder for Iron Man 3, but they completely changed it, and I love what they did with it.
Well, I
Is
was
Don
really impressed with that
Cheadle
movie.
the sidekick
Yeah,
still?
he's War Machine.
War
but
Machine.
They call him Iron Patriot in the movie.
Well,
But they also, I like what they did with that on why they called him Iron Patriot.
Well,
Because he's American?
Well, it was that they followed that really well from the comic books. Is well, it was War Machine, and War Machine was coming around, but then they were like, well, hold on, he's fighting for America, so America, let's give him Captain America's gear. It's basically what
War
they did.
Machine sounds a little too aggressive.
Right, and that's actually the explanation in the movie. It was like War
But
Machine wasn't.
He's like made for war. I mean,
that's what
he's like more powerful than Iron Man.
That's why they tried taking away the suits to begin with from Tony, because they are war machines. They are beings created, or
I got paid like $100 for that.
Really?
No.
Okay.
I was going to say,
Because like
yeah. Branding.
Whatever.
No, we can't see it at all.
Our camera is so bad that you can't even tell what our faces look like, probably.
So So the main protagonist is who? Or antagonist.
The
Mandarin.
Mandarin. Is the Mandarin, and in the comic books,
is he Chinese?
In the comics, he's Chinese.
Yes, he's a Chinese wizard.
Yeah.
Who uses rings of power, which are basically, at least I took from it, alien devices.
Is there one
Yeah.
ring to rule them all?
One ring to bind them,
One ring to find them.
and in the darkness, something.
So does what's her face die?
Penny Pots?
Penny
Kinda.
Pepper Pots.
Pepper.
Yeah.
I kinda want to see that, but that would break his spirits.
I actually like what they did with
Yeah.
with Tony Stark's character, where you get him, he's in a suit that's amazing and awesome. Everyone loves Tony.
Right.
Iron
Tony
Man.
Stark is Tony
But-
Stark.
It's like right after the Avengers, and he's
He's
PTSD
traumatized.
basically. And I loved how they went about that, where they humanized him.
Yeah.
And if they're not going to bring in his alcoholism, they got this. So I'm glad they did.
They
that.
basically set up for him to become an alcoholic if he
He was-
continues on.
Yeah.
No, he was
Yeah.
already. They already exploited it in the first few movies with his just excessive partying back when he was a bachelor.
Well,
Yeah.
But they didn't have it affect his
No.
actual performance.
Yeah. Well, number two, when he was dying, that was, I guess, a separate scenario.
Right.
But there was one scene in one of the deleted scenes for number two that I just absolutely loved. It's like, I'm going to go off to India and have a party. And then partway through the party, he just takes off in his Iron Man suit, comes back in the morning, he's just sitting there half beat up. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
like, huh.
Yeah. Well, what they did with the Marauder, I really
Mandarin.
like. Mandarin. Marauder. That's like a different. That's
Yeah.
like Spider-Man, I think.
I mean, and if you're talking about the Chinese version, I believe it's called the Mandarin.
Darn.
But yeah, Mandarin.
It's the Mandarin.
But it's Mandarin everyone
Well,
outside China. Yeah.
What's that actor's name?
Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley,
Oh,
who's like
yeah.
a British guy.
Suspect Zero was very good. No.
Okay.
Check it out.
never seen
No,
that.
it's about, he's not really the main guy, but he's got like this psychic perception to be able
Okay.
to find serial killers.
He was in Species. I've seen Species.
No.
And probably, hopefully, a really good movie. Ender's Game. Ender's Game.
Oh,
read
yeah,
the
he
book.
is.
Check out the movie when it comes out.
Yeah,
but he's
gonna
in
be
there.
Yeah, he's gonna be in
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Anyway, he
One
played.
person for it.
There's a twist with this character. I'm not going to spoil it. Do you
What
want?
a twist!
I love
should. I
spoilers.
mean, it's like it came out on May 5th, and we're releasing this on the 30th. It's been a month. Go see it, people. Should I spoil it?
But
Well, yeah, I mean, we already gave the spoiler warning.
All right. Okay. So
People already
basically,
fast forward to 9 minutes and 23 seconds, so it's like, yeah, it's okay.
so basically, this character who has been portrayed as like this leader of the terrorist group and stuff like that is just a face, and it's just this.
Actually, I don't think he's seen it.
no.
He enjoys
I
spoilers.
I
Okay.
love spoilers. There's a reason I went to be video programming head. I love spoilers, and I like the way I watch movies and stuff is a little different from everyone else. Especially if there's a twist ending, I love to know it ahead of time so I can go through the first round of the movie and just see what's leading up to it. And I also
You read the end of the book first. Before.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Yeah.
no, and I also just talk through the movies and just point out plot holes. I've had multiple people.
Wait till the
who-
next
Oh,
topic.
God.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like I've had multiple people who just don't watch movies with me anymore because they can't stand it. And like this is the way I rationalize going through movies. Like I especially love watching horror films for this fact because they're always terribly set up, and the characters never have any sort of pop culture reference. So it's just like
Yeah.
mind-boggling how they can be this ignorant of their situation. So I love just talking through
Right.
stuff like that, and it also helps me rationalize it instead of going.
Have you seen? And this is not horror related, but have you seen Hobo with the Shotgun?
Oh, I love that
I
movie.
keep hearing about it. No, I have not.
Really good
It'd be-
movie.
yeah. You
Oh,
definitely like
that-
it.
yeah. Any so basically this.
It's not for kids,
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
but it's fun.
So basically, the Mandarin is like the what's his name? The guy who ran Al Qaeda that we just killed.
We didn't just kill him. That's at least
Osama
a
bin
year or
Laden?
so.
Oh yeah, he's basically like the face of this terrorist group.
That's over a
and-
year old.
Whatever.
Like at least an election ago.
Whatever.
I would have
Politics.
used it for my own election. I'd be like, I killed that guy.
Uh,
That's me.
Well, it turns out that this face is just this drunken British actor named Trevor, and the real bad guy is who I always assumed. What was his name?
I forget the guy's name, but
Yeah,
he
yeah.
did a good job. With
Yeah,
it.
he did a really good job with him. I don't remember that character from the comics at all.
They probably created it just for the movie.
Yeah, probably.
But the best thing I love about Iron Man 3 was it was an actual final battle. It was a epic
they
battle. It
had
wasn't
to
like
throw
Whiplash,
down.
where it's like 2 hours of setup for Whiplash and bam,
Yeah,
shit, he's
yeah.
down, he's dead. It's like
he
oh my
does
God.
like his whip
No,
like
it's-
twice and then he's dead.
yeah.
Yeah, no, they had like a battle, like almost where it was like, okay, let's wrap this up now. Oh, you're wrapping it up. Okay, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Like it was just long enough.
And he wasn't in a suit.
No,
And he's like, I mean, the main bad guy. It was like
he has like special
he
powers.
would hold his own against Iron Man's suit,
Right.
and that I loved.
Yeah. Now, what I really liked was they brought in extra Iron Man suits. Like he's been like this whole time he's just been building suits.
I was told that one of the bigger ones was
Hulkbuster.
the Hulkbuster. Yeah. And
that's gonna set up for the
I can't
Hulkbusters.
I
That's gonna
really
be
want
really
to
good.
see like a Planet Hulk.
Igor was that guy's name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stark was like, have Igor be a stand for him or whatever.
Well, they're setting up for Hulkbusters, but I'm not sure anything's going to happen with that because Mark Ruffalo's not coming back as the Hulk in the next Avengers movie.
But they already have a. But after the end of the credits, he was there though.
He was there?
Yeah, he was at
Okay,
the
what
end
happened?
of the credit. All right.
Okay, what happened with
Yeah.
this one was so they did their filming and all that, but Robert Downey Jr. saw Mark Ruffalo, or
Right.
Yeah.
he saw him at a party, and he goes, "Hey, Mark, you want to show up on set and just do a little filming with us?"
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah. And Mark goes, "Yeah, of
Why
course
not?
I
I'll
will."
get paid.
And that whole scene was ad-libbed.
Oh, so
The
funny.
whole scene. it totally made, like totally connected the whole movie.
Yeah, because the whole movie, it's like narrated by Tony Stark, and it's like, what if I was ever depressed, and what if you ever had dreams about being dreams, and it's like narrated, and it's all like,
right.
yeah, and so it it ends in the credits again. Spoilers that Mark, whatever his name is sitting in a chair, and Robert Downey Jr. is there in like a therapist chair. And the guy, and he's just sleeping, like he's like, I lost you after like a Swedish party or something like the beginning of the movie.
It was like perfectly how they did it.
It was so, that was ad-libbed?
Yeah, entirely ad-libbed. That
Those-
whole thing.
I mean, not only are those two characters really well together, those two actors have great chemistry together.
Well, yeah.
Which makes me so mad that Mark is coming back and Robert Downey Jr. isn't coming back.
No.
Possibly.
I think part of it is,
No.
they're negotiating the price.
Right, and
So it's,
Well, I heard that Robert Downey Jr. was already talking about extra sequels and stuff. Like,
well,
I thought
at
he was in it for a long
See,
time.
at the end of Iron Man 3, he removes his chest thing. He finally was like, all right, we have modern medicine,
Well-
I can actually get this out.
well, he is coming back. It's just that I think right now they're negotiating the salaries for all of the actors for the Avengers 2.
Right.
And Robert Downey Jr. said, I won't return unless you give these guys more salary.
See, I think that's a rumor.
No, I heard that.
I haven't
I read
actually,
it on
like-
the internet, and the internet's always
Yeah,
true.
no, see, I mean, I'm totally okay with that because Robert Downey Jr. is like that, but I haven't read any official news or like seen an actual interview with it. So
where I caught it was Reddit.
yeah, see, Reddit is a give or take. It's a give or take for me, but
Probably like 50% whether it's accurate or
well,
not.
like
They also said the Xbox One is not going to let you play used games for free. So
Well,
It's
yeah,
not.
it's the way that Microsoft's going to be cashing in on their used game market.
Yeah.
which-
how are they going to cash in on anything if nobody buys it?
exactly, exactly. Anyway, another topic for another
Okay.
day, because I can
Next
also-
month, yeah.
Next month, probably, maybe, I don't know.
Alright.
During the first and second movie, they were always talking about how like his arc reactor in his chest was powering these suits, right? And then in this third movie, they kind of just throw that away. Not only with the extra suits having their own individual powers,
Well,
but there was a point where it's like, we have to charge this suit now. Let's connect it to a car battery. His arc reactor is self-generating energy.
Yes.
I mean,
It does power the
charge his
electron.
own self.
Yeah, there is a moment in the scene where he's wearing the suit and he unplugs it from a car battery.
Well, I think they also had to do it too in a way because after like the first movie or two movies, you go, well, why can't Tony just have heart surgery to just remove those metal shards from his chest?
Which is what happens.
You
at
know,
the end
it's
of the
like-
movie.
We can do it now, but it was one of those where Iron Man was created in the 60s. And this was technology back then that they could not do that type of heart surgery then.
But
they can now.
on the same on your note about the arc reactor powering the suit, we've actually seen it in the first two movies where if you go for extended periods while using the suit drains the power from the arc reactor, so he has to replace it. He has to replace the battery and stuff from it.
You're
so
right.
charging it makes sense because it's using so much of the arc
Yeah,
reactor.
and even in the Avengers, Jarvis goes, "We'll run out of power before you penetrate that."
And
Right, you're right.
And there was that one thing where he also did design them for other people.
Yes, you're right.
That one thing which I'm not going to mention because it'd be a spoiler, and I don't want to give any spoilers.
Okay.
So, alright. What about the Star Trek movie that just came out?
You know. All right. This is
have
yet
either
okay.
you seen it?
Yes, I have seen
You
it.
guys got an hour?
Yeah. Do you guys have like 3 weeks?
I've seen it, yeah.
Alright,
Okay.
so I'm the only one out of this
All
one
right.
again.
I just want to take a moment to go back to the original Star Trek movies. The first movie they actually had like William Shatner and all that.
Okay.
All right, so
that far back. Alright.
the first
Oh, the T.J. Hooker guy. Okay, I know what
all
it
right,
is.
the first Star Trek movie, what it was basically is we have a budget now. Let's show off the ship. So it's like 2 hours of da da da
Hey, that was an awesome show.
da 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 da. Da-da.
That's my favorite part of that movie.
Yeah,
I love
and then-
that ship. I
and
would
then-
watch that movie just for that.
Yeah, and then, you know, like,
Beautiful ship.
they spent all the money on special effects for the ship and didn't have enough for writing and all that, so the first movie was a dud. The second movie picked it up and said, we are Star Trek, we are here, hear us roar.
Is it the odd ones don't watch? Because...
Yeah, the odd ones are the bad ones.
Okay.
Yes.
However, Star Trek 3 is pretty decent.
Okay.
It's not as good as 2 or 4, but
No.
it's still pretty decent. And it
And-
kind of
Yeah.
wraps up the internal trilogy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
2, 3, 4.
Now, with the new Star Trek, with J.J. Abrams' Star Trek, the first Star Trek, you know, they kind of turned it into a frat boy explosion-y action movie. Enough to where frat boys would enjoy it, but also enough to where nerds would also enjoy
Well,
it.
yeah, then they had enough subtle hints where the fans are
Right.
like, oh my god!
Yeah, and then Will Wheaton shows up at one point and
That would be awesome if you did.
no, he did. He was a Romulan.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
there's a point where a Romulan says, "Sir, if you ignite the red matter, I know, just fire."
Yeah.
That is Will Wheaton saying, "Sir, if you ignite the red matter."
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Recently just watched the first movie for the first time, so...
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
But they set up like this whole alternate universe thing where, you know, Shatner's dad dies when he was just being born and all that.
Wow.
And I just rewatched it and
Awesome
Thor is-
scene, though.
Yeah,
That was an
very good
amazing
scene.
scene.
And the fact that
and-
Thor...
Yeah,
Played by
no,
Thor, yeah.
I just
The fact
rewatched it the other day and I'm like, Thor's Shatner's dad?
So that's how Thor dies, by saving the greatest man in the universe.
Yeah.
Kirk.
No,
Yeah.
Picard over Kirk. Come on.
No.
Kirk, man. It's like, but Kirk got stuff done. Picard always had to go, I don't know, Counselor Troy,
on that
how do
note-
we feel about this? No, it's like, Kirk was like, there, it's
On
done.
that note, just because I'm very, very new to the whole Star Trek fandom as it is, like this is the first thing I've sat down and watched to appreciate anything. Like
Right.
I've seen random episodes of random pieces of whatever else. They aren't making movies about Picard. They're making movies about Kirk. So therefore, Kirk's winning.
Okay, alright.
Kirk is winning.
Okay, I'll give you that
First
argument.
Contact was a good Picard movie.
Yes,
but,
it was.
Is
That's
that
part
the
the
of
rest
one
of
where
them-
he gets
the Borg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the rest of them are like, yeah, don't even bother.
Anyway, so the first movie was basically Wrath of Khan to this Into Darkness movie, I guess, if that makes sense. Like,
Nope.
now the odd movies are the good movies.
See, how I had to go with these new Star Trek movies is a friend of mine told me that I need to view it as fan fiction.
Yes,
And
very.
I love how they made it an alternate universe so that I can, because I'm a Trekkie and I'm really big on continuity.
Yeah, and then
So much
they,
so that I hate Enterprise because they introduced the Klingons before the Federation could discover the Klingons.
Yeah,
As established in this one episode, First Contact and the original and the Next Generation.
right.
I'm that big of a continuity, but
Right.
the new movies,
They
alternate
straight up.
universe, I'm happy.
Yeah, they
No.
straight up said our destinies have been changed, and it's like,
Well, yeah.
yeah,
And
okay, I'm okay with
like,
this.
One of my first questions, like right at the beginning of the movie, was, all right, I know this is an alternate universe. When does that happen? And this is as the ship's coming out of the black hole, right at the beginning of the movie. They're like, well, as of this moment, it's an alternate universe.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
within the first 5 seconds.
Although I do have to ask, why would they have a pregnant woman just about to give birth
And then go
on a
into-
Starfleet ship
Yeah.
that's out in, way back when?
because, all right, the same reason that Kirk was able to get on Enterprise, her attending physician got called to duty, so she was
Probably,
able to
yeah,
board the
probably.
ship.
But then where
Because-
was George Kirk, her other son?
Alternate universe.
Alternate universe.
It's
Wait. George Kirk is older,
Kirk's brother, yeah, older
but
brother.
it's older brother, right?
Yeah. You saw even
I
a
don't think-
glimpse of him in the first Star Trek movie.
Like-
Star Trek 11, where he like goes to Jim Kirk goes when he was in the car, and it's like Jim's
Oh.
driving down.
Oh
and
yeah,
they're
that's.
hey, you know. It's
Yeah,
like,
there's
oh,
a
man,
deleted. There's a deleted scene where it's like,
Oh, I-
why are you leaving? And then like he runs away, and then Kirk goes, or James Kirk goes after him in the car, and then he just kind of waves.
Yeah.
Okay, so the guy walking down the highway.
Yeah,
is
they're-
his older
yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
Alright, well they didn't establish that, so I'm like,
No, that was kind of just like.
There's a
Random
lot of like
kid.
subtleties in there.
Alright.
Yeah, I always assumed it was just his
one
friend.
thing about that scene that I had a real big trouble with is the kid driving the car, bright blonde hair, dark brown eyebrows. You couldn't,
Yeah.
like, with your
Oh,
massive
God.
budget and all of the lens flare, you can't cover up eyebrows? Come on!
Maybe they didn't want to do a Jake Lloyd thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway,
from the Phantom Menace, it's like
so Into Darkness, it kind of just came out. I don't really want to spoil anything.
Come
it was
on.
spoiler alert. Fast forward to 9 minutes and 24 seconds. Sorry, guys.
Pretty sure
Or probably at
Oh
like.
yeah, we're way past it.
Yeah, we're way back.
See, for me, it was just the potholes in the movie
They're
right
within
away.
the first
And I
5
blame
minutes.
Abrams for that. But
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand building explodes. I'm cool with that, you know. But then the first plot hole for me was you take all of the most important people in Starfleet and put them into one place,
Yeah, one
which
room.
kind of makes sense.
Okay.
But way up on the top of that one building where they were, very exposed in the middle of the city where they were, all in one room with no shielding or defenses of any kind. Let alone they don't really even show shields in the movie. But
No, they mentioned them a lot, but
they never.
no,
it's like they
never an
ran out
actual
of
thing.
special effects budget for it.
Well,
but-
what it was the future technology penetrates the shield, so it's not like they're even there. But
it
still,
doesn't make sense. I mean,
still, it
but
should.
they always mention we're losing our shields. It's like
Were our shields even on?
yeah.
It's like
so, but
no, actually.
yeah, plot hole there. And then when they go to Kronos, I'm like going, so the Klingons don't have any sensor technology at all in the 22nd century? It's like, where's the sensors? They should be able
and
to detect that.
When the heck?
ship, the person, it's like, come on. The only human on the Klingon homeworld, and they can't detect it. It's like, but the Enterprise could.
Oh yeah, no, totally. Why do Klingons look like orcs?
I hated that. I want the smooth
They-
forehead Klingons, like from the original series.
Yeah.
Because I wanted them to ham it up a little bit. They just kind of like play that homage of like Deep Space Nine and Enterprise,
Right.
where they
But
explained it
no,
away. you
They
know?
kind of look like orcs from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
It's like they
I don't
should
know what
have
the helmets are about.
they should have raggedy armor and crappy swords. They straight up look like orcs.
Yeah.
It's like probably the same makeup artist actually.
But Carol Marcus, I have no idea why she was in the movie at all.
She was there to
because-
look hot in her underwear.
Well, she had no role in that movie. But unless they're setting up for something in the movie 3, which I will be patient on.
She was
Is-
there
I
to
hope
look
so.
hot in her underwear, just like the green chick. Well, the green chick in the first one was an homage to the
Well,
original show.
Was that She-Hulk?
No, it's
No,
an
that
Orion.
was-
That's an Orion girl.
Yeah, the original series, there was a interspecies
Orion
relationship
Slave Girls.
thing.
Have you heard of them? Orion Slave Girls, in the time of the original series, Orions were currently known as pirates. But what they'll do is they would then sell their women as slaves. And the Orion women were like one of the most well known for being very, very beautiful and alluring and very highly coveted. So it's
I got She-Hulk out of
yeah, so it's the fact that there was an Orion woman that was in Starfleet was a rarity. In
Yeah.
my opinion.
Okay.
But it was
And then
mainly
she dies.
it was mainly she dies. It was
She's
mainly an
not-
homage to the
She
original
was in one
series
of the ships
'cause,
that were destroyed.
Oh, okay.
it was an homage to the original series because in the original series it was like because it was back in the time of interracial thing is like a bad thing, so they were going to have a human and alien relationship and it was a big thing. But
They would have had a field day with
It-
Spock and
yeah, it was originally supposed to be Spock and
It's
the green
Kirk.
chick, but it was then Kirk Shatner was like, wait, I should do this. I'm Kirk.
Well, there was one part with the hero that made me go, wait a minute.
What was her first name?
I
The
forget.
kid.
She never told me. She told Spock, but she
She
didn't tell
told she told Spock, and it's mentioned like half a second,
Well, yeah.
I
and it's
know,
like
I know,
so that's her
yeah.
first name. I don't want to talk about it. It's
Yeah.
like
me. Star Trek 11 is the first time that they actually mentioned the name
Yeah.
in a movie. Otherwise, it was more in the books.
Hmm.
And then, yeah, they mention it once in Star Trek Into Darkness, but I totally forget.
that whole thing with Uhura and Spock fighting. That's just stupid.
Well,
It made sense.
It made sense, but it was just like,
But
why am
Spock
I
had
watching
the
a
best-
relationship?
well, they've been building up. Like, there's no, sex sells. So
Yeah.
they need a relationship of.
But they already
well-known
have the
characters.
hot white chick in her underwear.
Yeah,
Just-
yeah. But they built up this relationship from movie one. So they just want to show the advancing point of
Right.
the relationship.
I always pictured it as that the actress that plays Uhura is one of the main characters.
Right.
She's getting paid more than the other characters, but the thing is, her presence in sometimes some of the scenes didn't quite make the most sense, especially at the very end, where, okay, so you get like the most dangerous man in the universe, and
Right.
Spock's fighting him, and it was a cool fight scene. I loved it.
Oh yeah, no. Totally.
But this Vulcan is getting owned,
No.
which makes sense considering his opponent, but
nerf him.
you. Instead of taking, I don't know, like a team of the most trained security officers with phasers set to kill, beaming them down. No,
No.
you send the
Spock.
communications officer
Yeah.
on a phaser set for stun.
Yeah.
That's the ticket.
Yeah.
It's like that made me go, wait a minute. That was the last plot hole that I was going, really?
You know what it is?
But-
It's Abrams. He didn't watch Star Trek until he got the job for Star Trek.
And I can tell.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the passion for it. The other co-writers, he
He's-
does have a passion for it.
He
but
says he got into it, but it was like
I saw him on the
you either
initial
are
saying,
into it or
we
you
made this
are never
movie
going
so
to
that
be.
you don't have to be a Trekkie to like it. I'm like,
Yeah, it's like.
I'm a little worried about Star Wars 7, but
Yeah, no, I'm worried that
I'm worried it's gonna-
Abrams is, since he's doing Star Trek and Star Wars, he's going to bastardize both.
I want a merger of the two franchises, but I want to have Patton Oswalt do the merger. I want him to write. Amazing. And then bring in the Avengers, and then maybe X-Men, and all that. Yeah.
It's just like that one T-shirt you have, #1 fan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Somebody
it's
took this one
Star
too.
Wars #1 fan with.
Yep, that one too.
Somebody took a picture of my Star Wars #1 fan shirt.
And it's got
at
the
ACen.
Enterprise.
He like looked at us talking to talking to
Right.
I forget which one, but I was talking one of the other conventions, and he just looks at it and he goes, "What?"
Wait a minute.
And he goes, "That's awesome." And then he goes, "I gotta take a picture." So
Do we want to spoil the big twist?
no,
I do.
No. Okay.
I,
We'll tell you later.
but overall, I thought the movie had really good action.
Okay.
I mean, overall,
Oh, yeah, no, I
overall,
mean,
it was
yeah, it
a
was-
fun, entertaining movie
It's a
to watch.
fun sci-fi
and
action
all my
movie.
critiques are from a Trekkie.
Yes.
So it's like, you guys, I will argue to no end about
Also-
how Deep Space Nine is one of the worst shows ever. But I love Deep Space Nine. I'm a Trekkie, it's part of the nature of things.
Chris just brought up alternate universe for but
Yeah,
That's the-
SPAU.
that's the twist in why it's bad.
AU also it's abbreviation for gold.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh.
Star Trek gold. But overall, I'm hijacking off. Like overall, the movie was fun to
Yeah,
watch.
no,
It was really
very fun
entertaining.
sci-fi action
It's-
movie.
I'll have
Yeah,
to
it's
watch it.
really fun to watch.
So, how was Scotty in this movie? Simon Pegg's my
More of a
favorite
role.
actor.
More
And I
of
thought
a
they did
thing.
better with him. It's like
Yeah.
I was actually disappointed with Star Trek 11 with how Scotty was in there because I wanted more Scotty, but they delivered in Star Trek 12 with Scotty.
Yeah.
It's like,
I did like.
including Deep Roy,
Yeah.
the short alien.
The
Yeah.
short.
Yeah.
The get
He was
down
in there
thing.
again, too.
Yeah. He's.
I did like that original universe that Scotty comes up with the theory for beaming and whatever else
Right.
on his own. But then this universe, the original timeline, Spock is the one who gives him the answer. It's like that's just awesome.
Yeah. It's like.
And Bones, Carl Urban is like the
He
most
was
muscular
amazing.
McCoy ever, and he did
is
really good.
So good with. I don't know what it is. It must be his like eyebrow thing that he has perfect.
And you can actually tell.
Something about him
When-
just oozes McCoy.
You can actually tell which actors actually like studied
Yeah.
and based
Simon
off
Pegg.
of the past characters.
Well,
Like Simon Pegg, Carl Urban. I even think the guy that does Sulu studied Spock, Zachary Quinto. He studied with Nimoy. It's like you
Yeah,
can tell
it's
which
like-
ones
yeah.
did and which ones go. Yeah.
And with McCoy, I could not ask for a better casting because he looks so much like the original McCoy. He fits
Right.
the bill as it is.
I want to see the scene where he actually delivered those Gorn babies.
Yeah.
If he didn't see the movie, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the only other disappointment I really had was, and I gotta admit, I read this on Reddit first, and I was going, yeah, that is a good idea, but I really wanted them to have something after the credits as like just a little like maybe a
Yeah.
half a minute video thing that was really humorous, off the wall, maybe like they walk into med bay, and if you saw the movie, you understand. But McCoy walks into med bay after everything, and the room's just filled with tribbles.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Tribble does show up.
Yeah.
And it's fun because it's like, oh, Tribble.
Yeah. And like Kirk goes, McCoy, Bones.
Bones.
Told you, something like that. But it was a fun movie.
I
to
don't
watch,
I don't like this guy's Kirk.
When is Kirk gonna do something?
Well,
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, in movie one, all it does is get speed up. But
Yeah.
It's more the same.
establishing that Chris Helmsworth was his father, and then having this actor follow him up, you could tell like they cast him because they looked similar and had similar whatever else.
Yeah.
Like they did really well following the genealogy of it to make him look and act the same as the 10 minutes of the father you got to see.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that, at least being from a movie one standpoint, not seeing this one.
Right.
I did appreciate that they were able to cast to look like they were father son.
Now, in the second movie, I didn't really hear any hardcore Shatner-ness coming from him, but in the first one, he has like right in the last scene where he comes onto the Enterprise as the captain, and like he just has this one really hard Shatner-ness where he just like Bones, and it's just like he's just like
See, I don't know. I mean, I love the movie, but apparently it doesn't sound like you do. But for me, it felt like
fan service.
I didn't really need to watch it.
Fan fiction.
That I already saw it already, and that if I went from like Star Trek 11 to Star Trek 13, I wouldn't have missed much.
Yeah, these new Star Trek movies, it's kind of reversed, where the odd ones are probably going to be the good ones, unless the third one sucks as well. So.
But Star Trek 12 ranks up there with Star Trek 3
Yeah.
in terms of the quality, in my opinion.
Star Trek
so
3
if
was,
I have to place it,
Yeah.
But it's definitely better than Nemesis or Star Trek 9 Insurrection. And God, I'd rather watch this one more than Generations.
Oh. Yeah.
All
To be honest.
Alright, so just being the movie buff I am, I'm still going to go out and see this movie probably when it hits cheap seats now listening to it, but I'm going to take a separate perspective because I'm not a Trekkie fan. I'm going to end up taking the just mainstream perspective, like I'm going to be the person who doesn't know anything about it going into it.
Okay.
I'm going to.
These movies are really good.
Very
for you.
entertaining.
Yes,
You're gonna like it.
You're gonna like it.
Yeah. My critiques is from a Trekkie.
Yeah.
No, I understand this, and it's going to be your opinion's going to be felt by a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Not really, actually.
Really?
There's less Trekkies than you think, but there are more than you think at the same time.
My sister goes, I knew exactly what you were going to say the second you finished watching that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people, and I know a lot of Trekkies in my family that love the movie. So it's,
Alright, well,
but
I know a lot of
continuity,
Trekkies who want to burn it to the ground.
I have better
so.
taste than they do, so.
So, is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
immediately, well, we're pushing back Xbox One till the next one.
Yeah, we'll talk because I think
We should probably wait for more.
when is
Yeah.
E3? Because that's when PS4 is officially being announced.
I thought it was already officially.
No, the controller was officially announced.
Yeah. And they also announced the specs too, the PS4, and the PS4
Right,
does have
well,
more powerful
I
capabilities.
personally, I don't
So it
do
doesn't matter.
I don't do gaming platforms.
Right,
so
but
like most events.
That was
I-
basically the reaction of everyone. Every Sony fan was just.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the most advanced piece of equipment I own beyond my tablet, my phone, like gaming wise, is a PSP and a PS2.
Yeah.
So we've been talking for like an hour now, and I have to edit this down to 15 minutes.
Oh,
That'll
that's
be-
on you.
That'll be fun.
Maybe we shoot for a half hour.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
yeah, that'll
especially
work.
with some of the it's half hour per topic.
Yeah, something like that. Okay.
Good luck, man.
I'm Zach,
I'm Chris.
I'm Afro Hammer.
and you guys have a good night.
And cut.
Recording go, right?
If that's what you want.
The problem is, I have no idea if I'm in frame. You want to go check if I'm in frame for me? please?
You know,
Well, you know, you could have had
goes,
one of us.
oh, and, oh.
Why would you, if him